Hey YouTube, what goes on? Welcome to This About Action Figures live at 7:05. This is an episode long in the planning, long in the making, with one additional MVP, maybe two MVPs, maybe three MVPs, if you want to actually count accurately. So here's the deal. Last October, I was really excited to do a whole Halloween-themed month of random unboxings, and the Gargoyles were going to be a huge part of that October unboxing. My Goliath remains in his plastic prison upstairs. And then I got sick with that thing we all hate, right? From the last 3 years. So not much Halloween action happened. Goliath got stored away in a tub, never opened them. But then the NECA gods presented us with Haulathon 2022. Yes, very difficult. Yes, very frustrating. Yes, at times very confusing. But with all that said, the GF, gotta say I love her, hooking me up on a business trip to Virginia, Fairfax, Virginia. I said, send me a picture of whatever you see if you go to a Target. And she goes, hey, I think I found some stuff you're looking for. There's a gargoyle guy here. And there's a certain Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Also, the signature series was there, and I used restraint. I did not need her autograph. So I said, leave it behind for the next guy. But please grab me an Elvira. Please grab me a Bronx. And tonight, we will be ripping these open. So excited. All transparency here in place. I will not be opening my Goliath this week. I just want to throw them in there because of the wing accessories. We will be opening Bronx, looking at the folded wings for Goliath because, channel update, tomorrow Target says my Demone is coming in. Tomorrow Target says another Elvira is coming in because I'll be keeping one Mistress of the Dark in the box. And you've been seeing I've been nuking all my boxes recently. This box ain't going nowhere. This empty box will remain in my collection. Whenever she's not on display, I'm going to put her back in the box. That's what I tend to do with the 8-inch NECA cloth line. So I'm very excited. I do not want to bury the lead too far tonight. So we will rip open Bronx. We'll look at the folded wings of Goliath. We'll compare Bronx to my other Hellhound right here from the Ghostbusters. We'll rip open Elvira in a few minutes. We'll compare her to some other random figures I have laying around, and we'll give Bronx the same treatment. Also, I'm not going to bore you to death because I know we want to get to Elvira and those two great unboxings tonight. But I have 4 more packs I want to open of Marvel Legends trading cards. They're not even in a recent video, but I got 7 more packs for a buck a piece in Harrisburg on a toy hunt with 6 packs of knickknacks, P. Nitty, and Mrs. 6 packs. That toy hunt will probably be coming out Tuesday. Why, you might ask, why is it not coming out on a Friday night like I usually do? Well, very simply put, the good gentleman, Dark Joker's in, and Alex hit me up and said, would I be interested in being on the Infinity Equation podcast, live on camera, face on camera tomorrow night? And I said, abso-freaking-lutely. So I will be on the Infinity Equation podcast live tomorrow night. Very excited, face on camera. I believe it's my 3rd appearance on the Infinity Equation, maybe 3.5 if you count when I didn't show my face the first time on an unboxing. But I will be on Infinity Equation podcast. Follow them over on Instagram and here on YouTube. Give them a sub and check us out tomorrow night here on YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the good sir Dante, the good sir Alex, and Laser Pants. Shout out, sir. Pew pew. First week without you, buddy. We're gonna miss you, but check them out over at 3POA Podcast here on YouTube. Before we get to all this, before we get to the cards, let's say hello to who we have here in the chat. Midwest Toy Box in the house. I believe Midwest Toy Box found something special today in Midwest Toy Box when I shared the crew. Artsy Designs, what's going on? How you doing, sir? 4 Feathers in the house. Cheers, sir. Ka-ching, ka-ching. Artsy Design says, sup, 4 Feathers. Omega Weapon 13 is here. I know he's a avid Infinity Equation watcher. We'll see him tomorrow in the chat. Elvira looks awesome. I completely agree. Can't wait to friggin' crack her open. Is that okay to say? I hope so. Yeah, very awesome figure. NJ Tree is in the house. NJ Tree getting the shout out on Art G's video of toy hunting today. Watched Archie's video. I forgot to comment. I'm bad at that sometimes. I'll comment later tonight. But check out Archie's new toy hunt video where NJ Tree hooked him up with some Mythic Legions. Found the Chase Jericho. There it is, Midwest Toy Box. Very excited about that. That is so cool, sir. So let's rip into these cards real quick. This is why I'm so excited. I only need Ironmonger, Hulk, Dread Knight, and Whiplash to complete all of Wave 3. And foils, I have Iron Man, Drax, Hulk, Cap, and Justin Hammer. Anybody else I get that's a foil is new. So not even going to take too long. Going to crack into this. Everybody participate in the chat. Let us know what you're finding, what you look for this week, what you found this week. Give us a shout. I'm going to try to get this quick because I know people in the playback are looking to see Elvira. So first card out the gate, Crimson Dynamo. He's a dupe. I didn't need him, unfortunately. So Crimson Dynamo is a duplicate. Justin Hammer is a duplicate. Hulk. Did I need Hulk? Did I say? Yes, I did. I needed Hulk. I had the foil, but I needed the regular Hulk. He was a needed card. And the foil Hulk, which I already have, but awesome to see. So let's take the foil Hulk and the regular Hulk, put them down here on the keeper pile, and we'll keep the dupes on the side. Again, really quickly, pack 2 here of Wave 3, procured at the Harrisburg GameStop on Jonestown Road, I believe it was. I always say Jonestown or Jamestown. I mix it up. All right, so coming out the gate, there is Dread Knight. We need a Dread Knight. So we are 2 cards away now from completing that entire series of cards. There's Whiplash, and it's funny how they come in the same packs, right? So now we have Hulk. Now we have Dread Knight. Now we have Whiplash. All we need is Ironmonger to complete our set. We got an Ultron. So we already have an Ultron. That's a dupe. And we get a War Machine foil, which I did not have. So that's a foil I needed. So very cool. That goes in the dupe pile. This goes over on the foil pile. So now, again, all we need, I got my Whiplash. I got my Dread Knight. I got my Hulk. We need an Ironmonger in these next 2 packs. I have 4 more of these. Okay, here we go. Ironmonger. Come on, give us an Ironmonger here, folks. And give us our complete set. Then we'll have almost every single Marvel Legends trading card that was made in the last 2 years. I already see the foil. Let's spoil it right away. Do not have a Dread Knight foil yet. Turn it around. We got an Iron Man. That's a dupe. Ironheart. That's a dupe. Captain America. It's a dupe. But we did not have Dread Knight foil. So, all right, cooking right along here. Last packet tonight till we get to friggin' Elvira. And then we'll see who's in the chat. And we'll rip open these 2 great unboxings. All right, here we go. I already see a foil I don't have. That's a good sign. All right, we still need 1 more card. We still need that friggin' Ironmonger. There's Black Widow. It's a dupe. Drax, it's a dupe. And Ironheart, it's a dupe. So we got to wait for another week. How cruel and ironic. We got another foil that we needed, but we still need 1 more base card, and that is going to be the Ironmonger. All right, so for those of you that are not card collectors, let's get into the action figure goodness here on the channel. Let's see if you're going to be joining us in the meantime. Looks like Scott's in the house. What's going on, Scott? What's going on, dude? Need that Elvira. I got super lucky, man. I have her ordered coming in from Target tomorrow because I want 1 to rock, 1 to stock. But again, shout out to the GF. Finding this in Fairfax, Virginia. I had to take it, had to get it. KJ Smith, another Infinity Equation podcast fan, is in the house. KJ, I'll be on the show tomorrow. Check us out like you always do. But tomorrow, the us includes me on camera, which is not that often I do that. So here for Elvira. Thank you, Alyssa. Four Feathers says, I'm with you, Artsy. Can't find this figure anywhere. I can't find the Target listing to even check to see. The best thing to do is on Google search Four Feathers, type in Target Elvira figure or a Target NECA figure. That takes you directly to a link most of the time. That is your best shot. All right, everybody, let's get the Hellhound out of the way. We'll compare him later on to Bronx. I know a lot of people are pumped about the Bronx. I am too, but I can't bury the lead. To me, the lead is this gorgeous Elvira figure. Gorgeous being that's a great figure. I'm not getting weird. Don't worry. We got skulls. We got all sorts of great stuff out here. So let's get into this. So there's the box on the rotating base. I can't even begin to describe how great the box looks. We have the figure down here in the corner. We have a portrait of Elvira. We have product shots on the back with the Elvira Mistress of the Dark logo with the name. We have the NECA logo on the side. Then we have a rather ravishing photo of Cassandra Peterson playing the iconic character of Elvira. Where does Elvira end and Cassandra Peterson begin? Who knows? I didn't read her memoirs, but they're out there. Again, love this movie. It is a Halloween tradition for my friends. Every year we watch Elvira together to kick off our annual Halloween get-together. If you don't know much about Elvira, check her out. Great, iconic actress, character, I should say. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark is the movie from the 80s. It's usually available free on Tubi or YouTube. I would suggest checking it out. It's camp at its finest. Elvira was an iconic character throughout the 80s and 90s. Continues still today. The actress is 70 and she's still rocking that dress. When you hear the name Elvira, only one person comes to mind. Horror icon and quintessential symbol of all things spooky, the one and only Mistress of the Dark. So very excited. There was also the signature edition version for $100. I'm sorry, I couldn't choke up $100 for an autograph of Elvira. If I'd meet her or something, that's a different story. But again, packaging looks great. There's the legalese on the bottom. Somebody did complain online, which was hilarious, that the $100 figure wasn't worth it because it's a fake Elvira autograph on the box. They quickly reminded him. I heard this on Toy Exotic, actually, the story, that the person didn't realize there was an autograph card inside of the signature series. We didn't get that here, but we did get two great head sculpts, a really awesome candle accessory down here, and also a skull accessory up here, and the ravishing Elvira. So top of the box, there it is, and they're great. Iconic image of Elvira. The only thing cooler would be if they gave us a version of her, of their couch to go with this. But you might get that because all these NECA figures recently have been getting these great accessory and dio things coming out, like the Mummy, like Frankenstein. So who freaking knows? We might get a friggin' Elvira couch. How insanely cool would that be to lay her out on a couch for Halloween? I didn't say lay out Elvira, did I? All right, so let's get into it here. Again, if you've watched Elvira, you know that my jokes are tongue-in-cheek and they're in good humor, as it is a very campy franchise. There's a better look at both head sculpts. I am not throwing that box away for the life of me. I've kept every box. I will not throw the boxes away for these 8-inch cloth NECA. Again, just so you are aware, if you're looking to get this, it is an 8-inch scale figure. It will look rather large compared to your 6 and 7-inch figures. I meant the figure's height will be large, of course. Very cool smoky background here in the box. These 8-inch figures tend to have very cool backgrounds to go along with them. So there's a better 360 look at her. Let's get an up-close look at her. Flip the light around. There is that awesome candle accessory. That is freaking epic. Those face sculpts are on point. Dear God. They went as far to give us the extra winking face, which is quintessential Elvira. I'm just going to fix this a little bit. I'm not trying to get weird. I'm sorry. That should be... Okay, let's get weird, right? Okay, there we go. Of course, Elvira, known for her talents. And then here we do get the dagger, which goes right in the front for storage. And, of course, we get the chalice, whatever you want to refer to it as, on the side. Again, this is soft goods. Very excited to check that out. In the back, you do get a stand with it as well, which I didn't even realize. So you do get a NECA stand, which is nice to go with her. And yeah, there she is with the amazing Elvira hair we've all come to know and love. Let's get her out of her plastic prison. I don't think she's buckled in. I don't think she is. So let's give it a shot. That hair is really in there. But let's get her out of the package. And maybe she is buckled in. I can't quite tell. Do they hide a buckle in here? Do they hide a buckle? Let's get her off camera for a second. I don't want to rip it out if she's buckled in. She is buckled in, folks. So there is a bit of a tie in the back. It's a black tie. So it does very much blend in. So please be careful if you get this when unboxing, because that tie really does stay hidden back behind her because it does blend in with the black dress. And wow, I'll tell you what. I just got Elvira here out of the packaging. And let's get her on the stand. This is freaking cool. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know how she'll stand without the stand, especially on a rotating base. So I'm going to try to get her standing here first. Again, cloth goods going on here. She does come with these heels, as you can see. So the heels might make it a little tough to stand her. If you're a Marvel Legends collector, you know what I'm talking about when we get heels on our figures. But let's see if we can get her counterbalanced in some capacity to stand. If not, we'll use the stand to get her upright. It's going to be a bit of a struggle to get her to stand up here. So let's give her... Oh, we got her a little bit here. Let's see. I think we're going to need that stand to put underneath her, to be honest. Yeah, let's try the stand out, shall we? All right, let's get this out of here. Again, I did watch some reviews of her before I knew I'd even get her in hand. So we do get the peg on the stand right here. We do have the peg holes on the feet. So let's plug that right into the bottom of the shoe. And I think that's going to make our lives hell of a lot easier, as Elvira would say, and get her up there on the base. That is much better. Getting her rotating. There's a 360 view at this 8-inch cloth Neca Elvira. It's awesome. I definitely agree. It's freaking awesome. So very pumped to see that here on display here in my collection already. Let's see what we got going on in the chat. Let's say soft goods look so good. I completely agree. Archie says ditto. Omega Weapon 13 says I found most of the NECA stuff, but I didn't like buying anything that day. Yeah, man, leave behind stuff if you're not sure. I've been doing that a lot more often. You feel better sometimes when you leave without something than when you leave with something in your hand. Don't throw that box away. I made sure it didn't get damaged in transit. Alyssa, I'll make sure it does not. Archie says she looks amazing. I agree. That's a relief to hear, and she is beautiful. All right, so let's see here. Let's take a look at the accessories, which include the really cool kind of candle accessory, and then also the additional accessory, which would be the goblet going on here, and also the knife, and also the extra head sculpt. Let's get it all out of the box here. And I'm trying not to lose the packaging because they do a nice job of giving you like plugins to go with the box so things kind of sit when you put them away. Here is the alternate head sculpt first and foremost. They went the extra mile with this. They could have just given us one head sculpt. They gave us two, which is very cool. We get the winking Elvira. Again, you see the peg down below. Hair is a very soft plastic, so you're not going to have many issues with that. But that is freaking cool. Going the extra mile with Elvira. Other accessories that we got. Here is her chalice, her glass, whatever you want to call it. Very, very well sculpted. You get the mist coming out, also a soft plastic, so you don't have to worry about it cracking off easily. You can see we do get some gems going throughout the cup there. Underneath, you can see we get some sculpting as well. So that is very cool. The dagger, which will get tucked in to the front of her dress right there, which is iconic of hers. Little tiny dagger, but it gets the job done. No pun intended. And let's reach this here. This might be the coolest thing. This could be fudged into almost any Halloween display, whether it's NECA or anything else. That eyeball looks so freaking cool. You can see the hair on the back. We get a freaking snake coming out of the skull right here. We get a spider on the side. So freaking well done by NECA here. That is just absolutely incredible. Now, the only thing I heard this a complaint is it is hard to get her to hold all the accessories, which I suppose would be understandable. Closer look at Elvira. Needless to say, she's well known for her assets. Trying to be tasteful here, obviously, but you definitely want to part the dress just right. NECA, let's just say, killed the sculpt here. Very well done by NECA. Let's get that knife sheathed in there. So that is tucked away nice and safe in the front. Very nice storage right there for her. And we can also put her up here, possibly holding some of these accessories. As far as the articulation goes, very smooth joints for a cloth figure. You do get elbows coming in very nicely, actually very nicely. It's surprising how well they made this. So there is your single jointed elbow out to the side, goes very high on the shoulder articulation. Down here, we do get a rotating hand. We do have hinge on the hand as well, as you can see. Getting her off the base for a moment here. As far as the legs are concerned, we do get single jointed knees. The knees, they go about that far. As far as the feet are concerned, that far back, that far forward. I don't think there's much ankle rocker. I'm not going to go crazy with it. Splits are very far. If you've watched Elvira, the Mistress of the Dark, you know that she is a Vegas performer at the end of the movie. Spoiler alert from about 50 years ago. So she is well known for being in those great articulated positions. But I really like what you can do with the hands. They definitely are going to allow you with the articulation, do some really great posing. Head, you do get pretty good rotation with the head right there because it is that soft plastic for the hair, which does come nicely across the back. So again, just very well done. Don't want to have her dump out here, but very, very nicely done figure. Again, if you are any type of horror fan, especially NECA, you get the rings on the hand. That's very well done as well. Fingernail polish. You even get the bracelet going on here around the wrist. It's a great figure. It's very well done. Lots of cool things that can be done with this. Moving forward, I don't know if mine will be on display year round or just for Halloween, but one way or the other, it's awesome, and I'm very happy it exists. Sometimes I'll say I'm just happy something exists that I don't need to buy it. This is one of those occasions where Very happy to my collection. And again, there's the knife, full transparency. I do have a second one coming tomorrow from Target, where this will be on display in box. I'll keep one in the box, and also I'll have one loose for various photos. But again, I just want to hammer home the fact that this is a 8-inch cloth figure, so it's not going to fudge too well with your other NECA figures, unfortunately. You're going to have to be careful how you pose it. If you do the whole Todd McFarlane, Toddy Mac thing with the scale, you can make it work. I did have a couple figures here to compare it to. So as I get somebody here from the 8-inch clothing line up here on the stand, go to the old man from A Christmas Story. Oh, there she goes. So there's the old man right here from A Christmas Story. If you're curious how she stacks up with other 8-inch figures, remember she is wearing heels. So she's going to be slightly taller than some of the other figures. But you can see, again, as an 8-inch cloth figure, she is going to still be taller than a lot of them. There we go. I think we're good to go now. So there she is there. Plus she has the stand underneath her. That's going to put her a little bit higher up. But there she is with the old man. I thought that was fitting, putting another NECA 8-inch cloth figure. And this guy here will certainly be smiling when he meets Elvira for the first time. There is our Ralphie. I'm sure we can get some pretty interesting pictures with Ralphie and Elvira hanging out. Again, Ralphie hanging out with her, not Elvira hanging out. But as you can see, we do get the Ralphie with the Elvira. Let's get him on the other side over here. And again, I see some people coming in the chat. I apologize, I haven't gotten to you yet. Trying to avoid an epic disavowed fail, as we tend to have lots of times on the rotating base. He's not going to stand in very loose ankles on this guy. But you get the idea how Ralphie does stack up with them. So lots of cool things can be done with this figure. Let's see who came in to hang out here as we moved our way through. Dark Joker's is in the house. What's going on, Dante? No such thing as super late, my friend. Anytime you can stop by, man. You know that. Art C says definitely went the extra mile with this figure. Completely agreed. Did a smashing job with it. Lisa says, does she have the ring on? She does. The ring is sculpted on. Rolando, what's going on? Yes, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark's in the house. Are her assets covered up underneath the dress? I believe so. I don't want to go that direction and peek around in there. But if you're not careful, you have to watch how you dump out the dress there. Alyssa says, display year-round on the horror shelf, please. We can do that, Alyssa. Forfeither says it's very well done, NECA. Hit it out of the park with this one. I couldn't agree more. Very cool to see Cassandra Peterson done the right way. Andre's in the house. So lucky you found her. NECA did a great job. Agreed completely. And again, shout out one more time. Thank you to the GF for picking this up for me in Fairfax, Virginia, when she was away on business. So let's get Ralphie back out of the way. Let's get the old man back off camera here, as we're already 22 minutes in, and I do want to crack open our Bronx. If you were curious what she's going to stack up with regarding a more 6-inch style figure, here is the Valaverse Sergeant Slaughter Actionverse figure, and you can see, unless she is some sort of demon from another planet or galaxy, which it's Cassandra Peterson, she might be, is going to dwarf a 6-inch figure. So you're really going to have to mess around with your scale to make this make sense with a smaller figure. Now, granted, the NECA horror figures are 7-inch figures, so you will have a little bit more wiggle room with those. And one more quick comparison. And again, you're going to see the difference in size here. Here is our Mythic Legions Krampus. This is the original Krampus we got released this past year. And of course, not the new one coming out soon, which is more of the traditional red-looking Krampus. But you can see his rack is approximately as high as her chest. Keeping it tasteful, folks. Keeping it tasteful. But yeah, there you go. So there's our Elvira. Again, very excited to get this in hand. They did also do the Toonie Terror. So I do have the Toonie Terror. I never unboxed that. That just sits on my shelf. But there is our Elvira. So let's get her off to the side. Very cool. We could also include these Mythic Legions Krampus skulls with her on her display. And again, I'm going to stick to my guns here. Not the easiest to pose regarding her standing ability, so be careful with that. But the accessories are, again, top-notch. Very much excited to have this figure in hand. One last look at the head, the alternate head. We'll put her head over here with the rest of her. And, of course, this here, too. So now it's time to get to I don't know, maybe the star of the show. I don't know what you're looking forward to more, Elvira or Bronx. But before I show you Bronx, toy hunt coming out this week. Shout out to a new toy store we found. I should say Six Packs and Knickknacks found in New Cumberland, Pennsylvania. They are called Retro and Rad. I have the sticker back behind Elvira right there. I do have their business card. Let me snag that really quickly. Had a great time at Retro and Rad. If you're in the Harrisburg, Hershey area, not very far for you to find. There is their business card, and here is their information on the back. They do have an Instagram available as well. Did pick up that Apocalypse finally for my collection at Retro and Rad. Got around a 10% discount because it was their 1-year anniversary. Shout out to them. Congratulations. Had a great time there. Again, you'll see that toy coming out probably next Monday. A little bit of stock music thrown in because we're just at a smaller store, but a very good time. I suggest you check that store out. All right, so quickly getting right back. Here it is, frickin' Bronx. I don't even know if it'll fit all the way around on the frickin' rotating base. We might knock Apocalypse over. Just barely cleared. This thing is an absolute beast. I didn't realize how large the box would be. I do have the Goliath, as I mentioned earlier. However, I never actually opened the Goliath, so I'm aware of how large it is and the whole wing problem, which is why we did get the built-in folded wings with Bronx. And as I said in the lead into this video, cards on the table, we will not be using the folded wings on Goliath tonight because I didn't open them yet. The Mona comes in tomorrow from Target. So next Wednesday night here in Lab 705, we will open up the Goliath. I might open up him ahead of time just to kind of heat up a little bit. But we will open Demona. We'll compare those two, and we'll also bust out the Goliath closed wings to get that going. But there's Bronx from the amazing cartoon Gargoyles. Box is freaking huge. If you haven't watched Gargoyles, do yourself a favor. At least watch the first season. One episode in particular is freaking great. It has to do with basically kids and guns. It's like one of those gun public service announcement episodes. It's very well done, I guess, in a way, but it is classic Disney cartoon stuff. There is our open box. Awesome artwork on the inside. Again, like the fact if you're an inbox collector, you can keep this and still take a look at the figure. That you're not going to have to imagine what it looks like. There are those great folded wings in the background. There is our Bronx, our meat log. I think it's a meat log or a log, and the alternate head. So let's get him in here. Let's get him out of the box. While I'm doing that, let's see if there's anybody else pop it in saying hello that I might have missed. Alyssa says, no, I think it's similar to a Barbie. We'll get Omi one of these and say it's a Barbie and see what she does with it. We got going on. She's huge compared to Krampus. Yeah, 4 feathers. It's a big 8-inch figure. It's going to go better with your Buddy the Elves and your different 8-inch figures. Do you have Mythic Legion skeletons? Probably need them hanging out together. I do. Actually, they're not Mythic Legion. Well, yeah, not Mythic Legions. I actually did have this year for a comparison, and I didn't get to it because I was trying to rush to get the Bronx. So I did have the skeletons there, but I didn't get a chance to actually bust those out for comparison with Elvira. But pumped to get it there. Dark Triggers didn't ask, will you be going to Fan Expo? I am most likely not going to be there, Dante. I really wanted to hold off the first year and kind of see what the reports are going to be and how it is. I was an old school Philly Wizard World attendee for quite a few years earlier in my collecting years, for a good 6 to 8 years probably. However, I thought I'd give it a year and see what people have to say about it. I know the great Art G's working at it. Dante, if you're going, man, hit me up, let me know. I'll be curious. I really obviously take your opinion very highly, so I'd like to know what you think. All right, so here it is out of the packaging. It's going to kind of stand on its own. It bends back a little bit, the plastic. The wings are going to be rather heavy. You can see they went the route of having the 2 different clamshells on the inside. So Bronx is going to be on the front. And I think these are somewhat connected, maybe not. I thought they were. Here we go, yeah. So these are going to come apart. And I'll show you they're taped, which is probably good on the QC end of things. So we get that tape taken care of on both sides. I know there's nothing on the camera. I apologize. But you'll see we do get the wings separate right here for Goliath, the folded wings. So those are there. And then we do get the accessories and our actual Bronx separate. It's not going to stand on its own. It's pretty heavy. So there's a closer look at it. Let's get it right out of here. This is why a lot of people who do NECA reviews get them out of the box. before they do the review, because needless to say, you are getting a lot of twisty ties to get them out of the box and out of the packaging. But here on This About Action Figures, we'd like to show you our struggle, because the struggle is real. It's a real struggle, ripping open plastic, because sometimes you can't just quite get those twisty ties undone the way you want to. All right, so twisty tie number 1 is done. Twisty tie number 2 is done. I think we're getting them out of the plastic prison right here. Very nice paint job and sculpt. I can already tell you on this guy. Sounds like I'm murdering the plastic here, because I am. And just about have them out of the packaging here. There are more twisty ties I did not see as I was working my way through, which is causing some difficulty on my end over here. So give me a couple of seconds to backtrack, and we'll get him out of the packaging. I don't want to nick any of the plastic here for obvious freaking reasons, as this thing is pretty freaking awesome. So talk amongst yourselves momentarily. I'll give you a topic. The Industrial Revolution was neither industrial nor a revolution to discuss. So if you're worried about this thing falling out, don't be. They have this guy in here very, very securely, to the point you might have to break a sweat getting him out of the packaging. But henceforth, we managed to get him out of there, and this thing is freaking amazing. Holy smokes. I did watch some reviews to kind of get an idea if it'd be a struggle to bend him around without getting any heat going on. Again, he's going to be coming out of the packaging a little bit messed up. We're going to have to get the feet and the toes where they need to go here. Always get a little nervous with NECA figures, taking them out of the packaging, going right into posing. You guys know the pain, right? You're collectors. There he is. We finally got him out of the packaging. And of course, we have his awesome accessories going on here as well. We do get, for the accessories, the alternate non-articulated head. So there is the non-articulated. It's a permanent angry look. He does have great work paint on the teeth. We get the tongue there. Again, good paint on the face. We get those classic gargoyle wings kind of on the ears. Backside, there is the peg hole. And we get the, I've been hearing meat log. I think it's a meat log. It's meat and it's a log. I don't think that it is actually a wooden log, but it might be. I've heard both online, to be perfectly honest. But again, for what it is, pretty cool. Star of the show. This is freaking cool looking, man. So we do get an articulated jaw on this guy. So be careful with what you do. I am getting the impression he's a little stiffer than I thought he was. So from what I understand, the articulated jaw works different depending on how you're working the head. So if you're looking down, you're going to get a little bit less articulation. If you're looking up with it, you're going to get a little bit more on that jaw. Again, came out very well. Here you do get the articulation side to side, of course. The neck as well does articulate. So you kind of get the neck and the head kind of working together here. That gives you a little bit more drop down on the jaw. Oh, it's freaking cool. I know that the back here, the tail is articulated, so that kind of moves a little bit as well. In the back, the best way I've heard this put is that even though he's on all fours, I've heard the best way to consider it is that these are basically arm joints. So they're going to go very far out and they're going to rotate. So these are more or less like their arms. Then down below, these are more or less like the legs. So you can see very, very good rotation. I should say extension on the legs for each side right there on the bottom. Top, same thing, just like their arms. Down here, when it comes to the actual, I guess you'd say paws, good articulation here. Be careful because with that paint, you never know if that's going to freeze while you're messing with it. Also, you can see here, good articulation at that joint. Here we do get rotation too. So it did a nice job giving us a lot of options here with how you can get this thing posed. I like the toe articulation. I believe that Goliath also has that. That's probably standard for all the gargoyles. But yeah, I mean, you have to mess around and kind of see how I'm going to pose this dude. But back legs, again, articulation here on the knees, foot, articulates like that. Toes, be careful working that for the first time. Pretty good articulation on the toes as well. Again, a little bit tight, a little bit tighter than I thought it was going to be. Just be careful with it, that you're not working it too far the first time around. But if you get those feet where they need to be for the pose, it's going to look freaking pretty badass, not going to lie. And I really dig that articulated jaw. So this thing's freaking cool. I didn't know if I was going to do the entire gargoyle line. And all of a sudden, here I am. I went from having just Goliath laying in a bin in a box to having Bronx and Demona coming tomorrow. So I guess we're all in. I guess we're all in. So I've heard the complaints. I've heard, of course, that the wings are an issue. That's why we get the folded wings at Bronx. Neca listens at least. You know, they listen and they try to do what they can to listen to the fans. And I think that that's a good idea because you get a smaller, quote unquote, smaller figure like this compared to the other gargoyles. It will be nice to get a pack in with it. So I'm assuming the human characters as well. David Xanatos, the kind of antagonist of the show, as well as is their name Montoya? Am I mixing that with Batman? I can't remember. But I feel as if a lot of good things are going to come out of this regarding it. So let's see any other chats going on. I didn't realize Bronx opened that way. I made it work. Sorry, Dante. You know what? When you messaged me about it during the week, it made me really consider it. The GF is working a charity event all weekend long to benefit cancer in the area. So I considered kicking it around. There's also a toy show a little bit closer than Philly, which I'm sure won't be as packed. I'm considering hitting that up on Saturday, depending on the weather. Golden Axe Skeleton. Thank you. I was trying to make it look like I wasn't forgetting, but I could not recall the freaking company that made this thing. I love these guys. They're on display year round for me. So our Golden Axe Skeleton is here. And I'll tell you what, there it is, folks. That's the money shot tonight, I think. The Golden Axe Skeleton freaking riding Bronx like he's a horse. By the way, I got a horse coming in tomorrow too from GameStop. So hopefully that's in time for the Infinity Equation podcast tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check us out on the Infinity Equation podcast tomorrow, right? But yeah, I ordered the Roach McFarlane, and I took back some of my Build-A-Horse figures because I think the Roach will work relatively well with that Batman, and I'm going to play the Art G waiting game, #long game, to get the rest of that line. The Joker and Superman went back. I kept Robin and Batman. So try to save some money in the long run there with that. Forfeither says I will be good, sir. Let's see. Morbius is a horrible movie. Dante, are we talking about Morbius tomorrow? I didn't see it, but I heard how bad it is. So I'm totally cool with anybody spoiling that tomorrow night. And basically letting me know how terrible it was, because I've heard awful things. Dead on arrival is all I can say there, man. Alyssa says make Elvira walk him. There'll be a lot of photos like that. Not tonight, Alyssa, because we're already at 37 minutes here. But we'll get to that. All that space you cleared with boxes, maybe you can put your gargoyles up there. There we go. I have been hashtag the Great T Boxing, folks. If you've been following, I've been getting rid of all my Marvel Legends boxes week by week, as best I can to make some more room for the figures. I almost knocked them back. This will go in the mouth. I'm not going to struggle because he's already on the podium here, so I'm not going to bother right now. But we'll put that up there as well. But I'm pumped. This Elvira figure is as advertised. I'm sure there'll be some interesting people on Instagram doing some interesting photos with her. I don't think I'll be giving one to the GF's niece to play with. That could get weird. A lot of questions I'd rather not answer. Clothing thoughts, everybody here. See what's going on. Art C says, I still can't find that Batman Bath horse. You know, I've seen it everywhere local. Art C, I'm in a small area. So I was able to get all four at Walmart like the week they came out on the shipper. I've seen all four in different locations already at Targets. I'm going to play the long game. I think eventually they're going to be clearanced, much like the Bane was. I think I know Archie said that to me. So we're going to play the long game. I hung on the Batman or Robin because they're the ones I want the most to put with the Roach Witcher horse that comes in from GameStop tomorrow. Shout out to Jimmy Hahn Rises for the shout out. That was on sale for $31 on GameStop yesterday. So that should be here tomorrow. Hopefully in time for Infinity Equation. Dante says, oh, we will. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it too. Thanks again for the opportunity. NJ Tree says, I've been listening in this whole time, but we'll send you a message after this on what I've been working on. Please do, NJ Tree. Please do, sir. Omega Weapon 13 says, I've always wanted a dog like Bronx. Don't have to care for it in the daytime. That's a great idea. You just got to make sure where he freezes at night, right? You want to find him over your bed when you're going to bed. Alyssa says she can play with yours when she comes over. There we go, Alyssa. That sounds good. Art C says I only keep finding the 3. All right, folks. I think we're getting ready to get out of here. If you haven't seen the most recent toy hunt from this past week, it's pretty good. Lots of NECA Haulathon finds. You will not see these finds in that video. These will be in a future video. And again, cards on the table. The GF shot that video. So I am being upfront that when people later complain in the comments in that video and say, you included somebody else's video, well, it was the GF, and she found them for me, and it was cool, and I wanted everybody to see what she found. So also really fun toy hunt coming out for next week. We're going to push back. We're not going to do 2 this week. Next week's toy hunt's already saving in YouTube. I did some music edits to it before we got to the show here tonight. So we will be having that come out next week. That'll be a toy hunt in the Harrisburg, Hershey area, including Retro and Rad. Check them out on Instagram. Great shop, great people. I got my Apocalypse there. And also 6-Bet Next got a really awesome wrestling belt, which was cool. So Mama said, pop you out, the best name in all of social media history. What's going on, dude? Hey, don't worry about it, man. I appreciate you even watching, whether it's on the playback, at the beginning, at the middle, or at the end. It's just always nice to see you here hanging out, saying hello to everybody. And Artsy, the last comment of the night, says, how often do you go toy hunting and what time of day? Artsy, usually midday to late day. Weekends are usually late morning, midday. Weekdays, because of work, I'm lucky to get there by the early evening to late evening. So it's all over the place for sure. I've come to the conclusion at Target and Walmart, there's no good time to go anymore. They're just sporadically putting stuff out. Unless you know what time they're going to stock your shelves, you just kind of have to find what you find, basically. So with that said, everybody, thank you again so much for supporting. Lago Figs is here. Hitting that like, always miss the lives. Lago Figs, thank you so much, sir. Greatly appreciate your support, man. Thank you. Again, thank you so much for being here. Dante did say, there's Lago's comment. Thank you again, Lago. Dante did say, Miss A, shots and great footage. It was very well done. She did a great job. So thank you again to my lovely, lovely other half, my better half, if you will. So everybody, if you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free for you. It doesn't cost you anything. Helps us grow the channel as we try to get to 3,000 subscribers sometime in the future. Not in a rush, but it'd be nice to make it happen. Leave a comment down below, hit the like button, hit the bell for notifications so you're told we post new content on the channel, like this weekly live stream, like our sometimes twice weekly, sometimes weekly toy hunts. And for daily toy content and daily toy updates, check us out over at Instagram and Twitter at disavowed_12. Also tomorrow night, Friday, April 8th, I think it is, I will be on the Infinity Equation podcast with the good sir Dante, with the good sir Alex. Again, shout out to Laser Pants. Pew, pew. Sir, we're going to miss you tomorrow. Maybe you'll be in the chat hanging out. We'll see. But very much looking forward to making an appearance on the Infinity Equation podcast tomorrow as a guest host. So we will see you live, face on camera tomorrow night, everybody. So come support the Infinity Equation podcast. Everybody, please take care. Please stay healthy. And I'll be seeing all of you at the pegs.